Welcome to the Nate and Dookie Podcast. I'm Hunter Hughes, a.k.a. Dookieshed, and I'm joined by my co-host, Nathan Sharp, a.k.a. Nate Wants to Battle. Did I fuck it up?
No, you did it fine. I didn't realize we weren't even going to do a sync, so, dude, you were
fine, I'm
raring
editing this one.
Yeah, no, that was hype. You were so raring to go. You're like,
dude, I was like, I'm gonna get the intro right this time.
Before we hit record, you're like, I'm gonna hit the intro. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, we'll do a count off, then hit that intro. And we hit record. It was just like, welcome. I'm like, oh, we're live. Oh no, I cursed in the first 30 seconds. Oh, who cares? Who cares about anything
you were
anymore?
All right, you ready to start? 3, 2, 1, go. And like if you said anything after that, my brain was just like off. Like
I did.
Did you literally say, let's count it down?
I started to, and then I went, oh.
Yeah, it's...
No, you still got the reins, man. Go for it.
How hard is it to say some words, but it's like, it has to be these words. And then... and then I can't say them.
I had water in my mouth. I took a sip of water because I didn't realize that when I handed off the reins, it would be held by a question, and then I would need to respond.
So anyway,
welcome to the this thing. Sorry, I said you have the reins. Go.
Yeah, we recently. I mean, this is probably gonna be more of a you story, but we recently had a little hacking situation.
Yeah, it was fun.
So we thought that would be a fun topic to discuss on this week's podcast, which is why we didn't have one last week.
Yeah,
because we were hacked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll get into how that affected the podcast soon. But yeah, this is... I actually was thinking about this, and I know we're not big fans of, time stamping when we're recording stuff too much because you want to keep stuff evergreen. But I feel like for this is kind of appropriate in that we were basically the hack, which we'll talk about more. For a timeline, it happened like, I think... was it early June? It was like first week of June or something like that.
Wow, has it really been that long already?
Yeah, it's been like over 2 weeks. It still is a thing. But it was first week of June. And I haven't recorded for a single piece of content since it's happened. This is the first thing I've actually sat down and like pressed record on since it. And I've just had so many thoughts. I've had so much stuff going around. And in addition to that, what makes it even harder is that there's actually a lot of stuff that like I can't talk about yet, / I don't even know if I'll ever be able to talk about, because like, yes, we have the channel back. Yes, we think we have full control at this point because we identified a lot of what was going on. Things we took precautions that seem to have worked, but there's still a lot of stuff that's ongoing, which sucks. But yeah, so this is the first thing I've sat down and made, and I like am kind of freaked out.
Because you're like, oh God, if I make content again, they're going to hack me again.
Yeah.
That's what I get for making content.
Yeah. And also like, as we were talking about earlier, it's kind of, at least for now, turned me into a boomer. I'm like afraid of my PC because it's like, hey, let's record the podcast today. I'm like, oh God, that means I have to turn on my computer, which they could be watching me through.
That's the crime box.
The crime box that makes the crime happen. That's where those digital demons spawn.
The Anonymous is going to hack me and take all my America coins.
They're gonna fill my bank account with NFTs or something. I don't understand.
My wife's being kind of an NFTs.
Oh my God, I forgot how to do everything.
It was kind of, because you were like, we got hacked like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, what? But yeah, you're right. Like, there hasn't been much work these past 2 weeks as far as our collective things we do. And it's made time feel like You know, when there's nothing to do and time just is fake.
Yeah.
Like when it's COVID time.
Yeah. And like time almost always feels fake. It just depends on how it feels fake. This type of time fake is like, it feels so much longer to me. I feel like this has been months and months because like I haven't really been doing anything. I've sort of just been, the main thing I've been doing is trying to like decompress and process and internalize and register what's been going on, all while planning and working on stuff behind the scenes of stuff that stuff that we've not just been working on before the hack happened, but now how it's affecting what we're working on. So it's simultaneously like a lot and nothing at the same time.
Yeah, that's like while it's happening, it feels like it's really slow. And then once it's over, it's like, oh, where did that time go?
Yeah.
Because it all just blurs together. Like these last 2 or 3 weeks, I don't even know if it was 2 or 3 weeks, have just blurred together for me.
Yeah. I think because it happened on a Thursday. Thursday? It happened on a Thursday.
I got a text from you saying, I think you asked like, oh no, it wasn't the usual. The usual was that you that just logged in?
Yeah.
But this time it was, I think we just got hacked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wee woo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was totally okay. So you know what? Let's backtrack, and I guess because one thing we can talk through is like how it happened in the moment, how it felt, what was going on. Basically, it was, and also it happened on a Thursday, and we post the podcast basically on Thursdays. We do it a little earlier on Spotify. Go listen to it on Spotify and download. That helps us out a lot. Plug.
Yeah, this one's already out on Spotify. That joke only works for me and Nate because we're recording it right now. Okay, continue.
Anyway, but yeah, I think when this goes up on YouTube, it will have been 3 weeks since the initial thing, the incident. So it was a Thursday morning, afternoon, whatever time. Yeah, afternoon-ish.
I don't usually exist in the morning, so it was probably afternoon.
That's fair. That's fair. And I was working on stuff. I was just doing like basic video management stuff. Like I had only been up for like a couple hours, and I usually spend the first few hours of my day just like going through the video manager, going through YouTube, not looking at comments, but looking at like analytics and editing, like SEO, just kind of like registering stuff. And that will usually give me a grasp on like what I'm going to work on during the day. If I don't have something in particular to work on, it's like, oh, okay, this looks like it needs work, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot more boring than the usual like creative stuff that people see. It's a lot of logistics. So I was doing that and I was getting something ready, and YouTube logged me out. And I was like, ugh, YouTube being YouTube, this is annoying. Because I've had instances where my login is just like kind of fucky-wucky because that's how Google be. And it logged me out. And I'm just like, well, that's annoying. I logged back in. And I'm like, anyway. And then it happened again after a minute of doing stuff. And I'm like, why is it doing that? This is so annoying. The third time was when I was like, okay, this is different. This is more fucky-wucky than Google usually supplies. And I'm trying to log back in. And then after like maybe, God, all of this happened over the span of less than 5 minutes. Like it was very, very quick. I go to log in. It said your password was recently changed. And I was like, wee woo. And that's when I texted you, because normally what happens is, there's a team of us that access basically all the channels that we're all a part of. So, Nate Wants to Battle, Dookieshed, well, not Dookieshed, but Nate and Dookie, Give Heart Records. Those are the main ones. We also have Give Heart Beats, where you can stream your lo-fi needs.
I actually do. That's my go-to.
Hey, unironically, like same.
Yeah. It's a vibe.
Yeah, hell yeah. But so normally what happens is someone on the team will log in, and Google security is so insanely hypersensitive for notifications, which made this especially weird. But normally it's like a new login device, and I'll recognize the area. I'll shoot a text to the teams like, hey, did someone log in? They'll be like, yeah, that was me. It's like, okay, cool. I was locked out of the account. The password was changed. And I honestly texted. I didn't even think this was anybody logging in. I was just like, I think we were hacked. This is like all hands on deck. And sure enough, I go to check the YouTube, and all of the videos are unlisted, and it is streaming stuff about crypto. And it's like, bruh, full on takeover. Holy shit. So that was fun. And so at that point, I'm in, because like as a YouTuber, as somebody who primarily does everything online, like your entire job is run by your accounts on the internet. This is like one of the top 3 most biggest fears, I feel like, of almost anyone, because this is like,
for sure,
this can take everything away. This can end all of it. And I'm like, okay, this is literally worst case scenario. Cause it's also like, I can't stop it. I cannot end this. I'm locked out. There's nothing I can do. And in addition to that, because I'm locked out, and because, what else? I lost my train of thought. Because I was locked out and I couldn't even access the email. That was the other thing, because they also got access to what was the backup email. So everything was bypassed very quietly. And so the couple of people I talked to, I had talked to my YouTube network about it, and they were like, this is the most thorough and aggressive hacker we have ever seen. Like, this is actually insane. It's like, cause we've dealt with this before. We usually get recovery back within the same day, maybe like some people a couple hours. They went in, they changed literally every single aspect, phone numbers, emails. They completely took it over, and YouTube shut down the channel that day, and it took forever to get back because the verification process was just it was almost impossible, because they just, they couldn't verify stuff, because it's like, well, let's use the phone number. And it's like, no, the phone number is fake. The email's fake. Like, because it was like, obviously they're not going to use their real stuff. The phone number they used, I think, was registered to Brazil, and the email was Russian. So it's like, yeah, this is VPN shit. Like, this person is literally anywhere. There is no telling at all where this person is. There's no finding them.
Yeah.
So
I like that they just unlisted the videos. They didn't delete them or anything.
Yeah, that was a big thing we gathered from this, because this has been happening a lot. Also, it's good to put this out there as to how it happened or why it happened, but this has been happening a lot. And these hackers are not trying to ruin YouTubers, which it's a weird thing. It's bad, but it's not quite like neither black nor white hat. They're this weird, it's like a dark gray hat.
Yeah.
It's like what they're doing is malicious and bad, but they're just unlisting everything. They're not deleting stuff. They're literally just like, hey, we're just getting access to whatever big avenues we have, and then, doing our crypto stuff. And it's like, that's annoying.
It's like mildly ethical crime. It's like, I'm going to do the crime, like, I'm going to rob you, but I'm not going to take like you know, your driver's license. That would be a dick move, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the money out of your wallet. You can have your wallet back. You'll be fine.
It was more just like, hey, I'm just going to pretend to be you. I'm going to do like some temporary identity theft. Yeah. And so yeah, all the videos were there, thankfully. But I think YouTube for bigger channels usually has occasional backups, because I've seen other channels get hacked and get taken down. And when they get restored, their last like couple videos aren't up or something like that. They basically like more or less take like save states for channels. But so before I get into how it happened, let's, you know, keep on going with the timeline. So first of all, hours and hours go by before I am able to get a hold of my network. Now, I'm not someone who's going to hop on here and, you know, like be like, oh, I had a bad experience, so I'm going to take to the internet and like cancel someone because I don't like how they do their job, because that's stupid. But it was kind of like, why did it take this long to even get a hold of anybody? Like, yeah. And it was bad because like other networks, other companies, and other like YouTube friends, like amazing people reached out immediately. Like within an hour, like 10 people hit me up wanting to help. But the thing is, they couldn't, because what I learned is that a YouTube network has their net ops person who is like, I'm the person that talks to YouTube. That rep. So, okay, so we're already 3 layers deep. You've got your creator, you've got your creator's rep, and then you have the rep's person still within the network that talks to YouTube. Oh. And then the person they talk to YouTube is a rep specifically for their network and cannot help people outside of the network. Because before my network was actually really putting in the effort and like trying to do this, other networks were talking to their people, and they were literally like, we literally are not allowed to help you. Like, they won't help us because you're not our client. You are not our channel, which is so gross. Yeah. Like, that is disgusting, because it's like, dude, there is no, like, even when things are horrible, there's no like camaraderie of like, you know what, we can drop that. Like, this is another creative person, and in the end, we're all in this together. We are like, they're in this together. Like, we are not. Yeah. It's depressing. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we're not going to help you. And from a business perspective, I hate, but also understand the whole not my department thing, because it opens up so many avenues for shit to get so messy. Like, sure. Yeah. But it was literally like, hey, a lot of people, like a team's livelihoods are at stake for Google's bad security system. You can do something. So no one could do anything. Finally get in touch with my network. And they're like, it's rough, because I had filled out a form, which God knows how helpful that is. And then my network filled out a different form. That's like, this is the network version of the form. Hold on. I'm talking so much, I need a sip of water. Fill in a few seconds. Okay, man, wow. Look at that blue cup. I have a cup just like that blue cup. It's a good cup because it's big and it holds a lot of liquid. Brought to you by Blue Cup. Okay. Blue Cup. So anyway, my network fills out a form and they send that in. And this was on a Thursday afternoon, which was the worst time it could have happened. Yeah, because this is going to take, this is going to take more than one business day. Oh, I forgot. Wait, which was the holiday weekend? Oh, yeah, there was that in there too. I think that was last Monday. Oh, yeah, that's right. That happened partway through. Okay, so it happened on a Thursday. It was like, this is going to take longer than a business day. So therefore, instead of this taking 1 to 2 business days, well, it is, but instead of this taking 1 to 2 days, it's going to take like 4. Because if Friday is the first business day, it doesn't count. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They'll never start it on Friday. Mm-hmm. Which I understand the whole, like, you know, fuck the 5-day work week and we should be working 4 days a week or whatever. Or like, I'm very much like people should just work the hours when something happens, but that's a whole different thing. Basically, no one could or would do anything until Monday. Monday rolls around and there's just like nothing. There's like nothing. And after, I think it was Wednesday when I was finally like fed up and I was like, yo, someone do something. Like, it's not even like, oh, we're trying. And we're not having luck. I heard nothing. Like, I had texts and emails just going unanswered. I was so mad.
Well, yeah, it's not like you're going like, why isn't my channel back? Why haven't you gotten me my channel back? You were like, hey, will you do something? Just do something. Yeah. Help. Exactly. That's all I want is help. That's all I wanted was for, but So anyway, we finally get access. I think it was on Thursday. We get access on Thursday. Finally comes through. They're like, hey, we have verified, because, I remember before Thursday, that Tuesday, they get back to me. My network says they had trouble processing your request because they received duplicate forms. The like big that was the sound of like of Dookie's facepalm being so heavy that it like absorbed into the earth. Sorry, you sent the same form twice. Did you know that forms cancel each other out? It's just basic math. So yeah, it took an extra like 3 days because Google got confused. I'm not even. I don't know. You too many forms. I'm confused. What do I do? Sorry, I cannot help. I am confused. The biggest tech company like in the world. And they got 2 forms and they're like, well, I don't know what to do about this. So see you later. So they're like, encountered this before. So they had to start over. They had to start it all over. They're like, we have deleted both forms. Submit the form again, submit it once, and we'll take care of this like ASAP. And a day and a half later, we do get access. We regain access. They were able to verify, like, yes, this is you. And it's, I will say, like, they do IP stuff, and that stuff's good because they're like, give us the IP you intend to log in on. And that is the only thing that can initially regain you access, which is great. And it also should be like, hey, can this security thing like stay in state all the time? Can I like give you just and I wish that were a thing. It's not, which is annoying. But they're like, okay, so I regain access. And I'm like, oh, that's a relief. I have access to the account and the channel will be reinstated in a matter of a few hours. And then I get locked out again. And I was like, what? I don't know if I heard this part of the story. I think you did, because the email that I got about the locking out was like, we detected a login via malware. And I was like, oh, it's on my computer, because because before that, it was just, there was no notification. There was nothing of a new sign-in, which was super weird. Right. Because it's like, how's that happen? We were like, every single time any of us just try to sign in, like perfectly legal, like we've got our 2-step verification, everything, you know, there's no like, oh, I forgot my password. Like we are just signing in normally on a daily basis. And every single time Google's like, intruder alert. And then this time it's just like your channel it just disappears. Yep. No sign of anything. No warning. Just gone. Just hostile takeover by a crypto bro. And then this time, like they said, they're like malware detected. We are locking the account. It's like,
Oh, okay. So I do a scan on my computer. And turns out there was in fact malware that was installed via a goddamn fake brand deal. I had a brand deal lined up. It was a good one. It was a Pog brand deal. It was great.
Was it?
I mean, yeah, they were offering everything we wanted. It seemed too good to be true. Weird. But it was for a program. I'm not going to go into the program, which, by the way, I want to get this out there first and foremost, very clear. It was not a company that like just sends out malware. It was someone pretending to be part of a reputable company that I knew about. It was a company that I was like, oh, I know this. It's like music related. So I'm like, yeah, I would love to do something for this company. It's great. And they're just like, yeah, here's the software you're going to be promoting. Installed it. Everything checked out. And bada bing, bada boom. Here's access to my Google. Here it is. So, and that's what's happening, because this is happening to a lot of creators, because they are getting offers for really good brand deals that are too good to be true, because all it is crypto bros trying to get access to millions of eyes in order to push whatever it is they're trying to push.
Cum coin.
Yep, cum coin. So a little, that's a word of advice for anyone out there. I don't know if people who get brand deals listen to this podcast, but if you are,
good for you.
Good for you. A, good for you. B, don't install anything that isn't like on the App Store. If it's like, yeah, this brand deal's for this game or this app or this software, do not download it from like a private link. Like, even if they're like, oh, well, it's because it's not out yet. It's like, okay, well, then I'm not doing it, because that is how they get you. What
was this software?
It was like an audio production suite thing. And it was from, and they were like, this is basically, it was a big audio production company that, this is some of the stuff I can't go too much into detail about. But basically, they're like, we're rolling out a new product.
Right.
Here's the product. Right. And we want you to post it on launch day so that you can be part of the initial promo. And it's like, that's great. That sounds awesome. It was just such a well thought out, planned out, presented scam. It was crazy.
Yeah. And that's like the perfect niche for you too, for it to be like an audio production software. Like, yeah, that lines up so well. Because they're also like thinking about like who they're targeting, because it's not just they're posing as whoever they can to get these downloads going. So we get locked out from this malware that I installed, and I was like, oh yeah, I trust this company, but it's like, nope, I shouldn't have. So I instantly do a wipe. I'm just like, dude, this thing is literally running right now. Like, I'm not even going to uninstall. I'm just going to clean, fresh start. I didn't even take a minute to think about like stuff that needs to be backed up or whatever. It's like, none of that can be important enough. Like, there is nothing that can justify me even spending another minute of leaving this computer vulnerable. Like, there's no way. And we did lose some stuff. We lost some Nate and Dookie stuff, unfortunately. Oh, we did. We didn't really say what it was, but
we're still gonna post what we have, but yeah, there were a lot of save files that were lost.
It was a save file. We lost a save file.
I lost a bunch of presets for that. So I have to start fresh, which is kind of a pain, but it's absolutely worth it for the security peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm locked out on a Thursday. So the channel does in fact go back up, but I'm locked out.
You didn't have access.
No, I did not have access.
Like, hey, there's my channel.
Yeah. And then after I'm locked out, the channel goes back up, which is so bizarre, but it goes back up because at that point, the account wasn't deleted. I was just locked out. So no one has access to it. And the video, it was a cover. I had a cover scheduled for while the channel was gone. It just like basically decided, oh, we're going to just publish it now. So in an instant, my channel's back, but it's still labeled an Ethereum channel with no videos that only has a cover from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, just the one DBZ cover was all that was there.
And I'm like, well, this is weird. I guess it's progress, but it still kind of sucks because our stuff isn't in the algorithm. So it's still not hitting recommended video because the only thing that exists on the channel is the one cover. So I'm like, ugh, this sucks. So it's going to be another weekend where the channel is up, but it's not much progress. So I got to wait till Monday for this to even work out. But then I big brained. then I was like, hold on a second, because two accounts were deleted. It was like the owner account, and then it was another account that was just like, that was also my account, but was also a manager. That account was deleted as well. We'll call it my manager account. There's the owner, there's the manager. The owner is the primary thing, but the manager account was also deleted. At this point, is that making sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense to me, but yeah. So like, you can have one Gmail account that you made your YouTube account with, and that's the owner account.
Yeah. And then you can have another account that you can give manager access, which basically lets you do almost everything. You're just not like the quote unquote owner. So my manager account, that was deleted, was a domain that I own. So it wasn't vanilla Gmail. It was like a workspace thing. So I'm like, I wonder.
You hacked yourself.
I loop around and hacked myself because I went to access the manager account and I was just like, oh, it's still deleted, blah, blah, blah. But instead of saying this account's been deleted, well, it said that, but it said this account's been deactivated. Contact your admin for restoration. And I'm like, oh shit, that's me.
I'm my admin.
I hold my own destiny. So I go into the admin account of the manager account and self-restore my manager account. And then bada bing, bada boom, I change all my passwords. I reset everything. And then lo and behold, through this loophole, I regained access to my own channel before Google could give it to me, which A, was poggers on my part, but also B, like, I feel like I shouldn't be able to do that. If there's like a hard reset on a channel, I feel like all permissions should also be reset. This doesn't seem super secure, but either way, it gave me like a 2-day head start to be able to post everything. So that was a big relief. I also learned like
really smart. To make a manager email on the channel, make a manager email from a domain you own. So no matter what, you can always get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
apparently that is a weird security step you can take. I don't know if we'd recommend that because we won't be held responsible for any security issues you may face. That's just what I did.
Yeah. That's what he did. So do whatever you'll do, and don't yell at us. This is not digital security advice in any way, shape, or form. Giving legal, medical,
financial
advice.
This is not advice. Where was I? Oh yeah. From that, I learned a lot of the weird stuff that only owners can do. Like, we were able to change the channel name, but not the channel picture or banner.
Interesting.
We couldn't make changes to memberships, which is actually really, really good, because that shows there's an extra layer of security if a channel does get infiltrated, that they're like not really I'm sure they would still find a way, but they took precautions to make sure that you can't scam someone else's fans. At least I think that was the case. Couldn't make community posts, but I could upload videos, which is like, that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah, that's weird. That's
like the biggest thing you can do. And
that's what you do on YouTube.
Yeah. And that's available. So I'm like, this is strange priorities. But either way, that's basically like what had happened.
As a fun little side story.
Oh yeah.
Nate and Dookie got hacked.
Yeah.
And the hacker was being kind of funny. Like, they changed our channel name to I'm sorry,
it was please change your password.
Please change your password. That's what it was.
And then it was and then they titled the video I'm a good hacker, text YouTube.
Yeah. It's hey, the identity theft parallel. I'm going to steal your identity for a little while. I also just realized I can steal your friend's identity, but I'm not gonna. So
I'm kind of going to do it. I'm just going to prove that I can do it.
I'm just going to send him an email from himself telling him to do it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. So, I mean, fortunately, we were lucky in that respect that they didn't want to just completely fuck us over.
Yeah.
Mostly fuck you over. But it would fuck a lot of people over. And that's what was so scary about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the day after the initial thing. So I'm just like, oh my God, it's not only still going, it's getting worse.
Yeah. What I did as soon as this happened, I hope all of you guys did what, not listeners, but people on Nate and the people on our team, but also listeners. We did a mass computer malware, adware, virus sweep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something that I don't do enough. I used to do it a lot. And I used to, I still can build computers, but I used to build them pretty frequently. And I don't know, I was kind of a computer nerd for a while. And this was something that I just did regularly. Sweep your shit every few months. Everything has gotten so much more dangerous. I feel like websites and apps and programs and whatnot have all gotten more secure, but at the same time, the nefariousness out there has gotten much worse and more powerful.
It's also gotten super accessible to just create things and present them in a way that is like you can upload an app. There's steps to take, but you can Google create an app, and then probably within a few hours, and I don't know, however many couple $100, if you have the resources, then you can just make it. I guess that's always applied, but it's much more accessible. It's much easier. There's just saturation. There's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure if you just do some Googling, how to become hacker, you could probably figure some shit out within a day,
Oh yeah.
Probably figure out how to do some basic stuff, which I've always actually, I don't know, it's a weird thing about me. I've always wanted to learn those types of skills because I would use them for good.
Yeah, you can white hat it.
I wouldn't use them for evil. A lot of IT professionals and internet security big dogs are former hackers.
Mm-hmm.
Who these huge companies are oh, wow, you should be in jail for life for the hacking you've done. Want to work for us?
Dude, I honestly wanted to try and at least talk to the person.
Right.
There's obviously no reaching them because everything's fake. But I just want to be like, yo, like, give me insight, because obviously you know where the holes in security are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe one of the biggest things was like, biggest steps is find someone stupid enough that will just install a virus for money that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that stupid.
Yeah, that'd be silly. But yeah, dude, it's so yeah. Sweep your shit. Be safe.
Sweep your shit.
And or just get a Mac.
Yeah, they don't make viruses for those, I guess.
They kind of don't. Like, I know it can't do as much, but it's for good. Basically, Apple is made in a way so it's like you can't bork this up, because we don't give you the avenues to bork things up.
Yeah.
It is genuinely hard to like mess up a Mac, mess up an Apple, like, but because it does it to itself. Because after a couple years, it's just not going to work to get you to buy a new product, which is
so
horrible.
Apple's like fascism, and Windows is like anarchy.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
Windows
like you can only do what we say you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And on paper that might work out, but eventually it collapses. And then Windows is like, "Hey man, do whatever you want." Like,
which also collapses because then it's too much control into everyone's hands, and then we all just burn everything down.
Exactly.
Yeah. Basically, the takeaway from this is that nothing works. No systems are good. It's all about what way like what avenue do you want to take to see everything become destroyed? Entropy,
baby.
Yeah. I thought you had more to say.
No, I just wanted to bust out my SAT word.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I saw peace signs, so I thought there was also like I thought there was a follow-up.
It's too bad there's no visual on this podcast. Sometimes.
Yet.
Just
kidding.
But overall, I'm glad I can look like a caveman and not have to worry. Not that anyone would care.
No, but you would.
That's right. You don't do these things for other people. You do them for yourself.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look good in whatever format you want, if it's for your own personal feelings, which at the same time could be jurisdicted by, unhealthy installations of perception, because you think, I want to look good for myself. But then what actually is looking good aside from what someone told me is looking good? And then it just becomes an endless loop, and you go fucking crazy because you realize there is no winning unless you just decide what is the win.
Loops and loops and loops.
Loops and loops. Like what if it's like what you call caveman? Like, what if you were like, you know what? Looking like a caveman does look good. I think you look great.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some ladies that are like, oh, he's got that cave bod.
I want to unga some bunga about it.
Hey, I have a story.
Okay.
I was thinking about, like, have I ever been hacked?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only time I have ever been hacked, and it was so minor, except that I've actually never told this story in a public fashion. But this actually has a big impact on Dookieshed. So when I've told this story a million times, how I came up with Dookieshed, the name. And it was like I was in middle school and I really liked Green Day's Dookie album. And so I was coming up with my AOL Instant Messenger screen name. And I was like, I want to be Dookie. But obviously Dookie was taken. So I was like, well, I don't know, where would you store all your Dookie? And when I tell this story, I always jump right to Shed. But before Dookieshed, there was Dookie Barn.
I didn't know this.
Yep. Y'all just learned something.
There's a timeline.
Yep.
Where
So Dookie Barn was first. And someone, I think it was just one of my friends in middle school, hacked my AIM account and I lost Dookie Barn.
No.
And I was like, I got to come up with something else. And so I came up with Dookieshed.
Like, all right, they took the barn, but I still got the shed.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
There's a little Dookieshed trivia that basically nobody knew.
So there's another timeline where you are Dookie Barn vids.
There is. Like I was so close to being Dookie Barn.
Dookieshed also has a thing to it to where like there's multiple meanings to the word that follows Dookie, but barn is just like barn, but shed
Barn's
is like
barn.
Yeah, but it could be like I'm shedding my Dookie, like or I don't know.
Or like, I'll be in the Dookie shed, like I'm taking a poop or whatever.
Yeah,
but
Dookie
barn, that's very specific. That is just, and that was my intention. I wanted a barn full of poop. Like that was it.
Great for branding.
Yeah, I was
the merch designs. The merch would be powerful.
In Miss Beard's pre-algebra class, I was definitely thinking about branding.
That is exactly what you think about well, actually, yeah. Like in school, I constantly was thinking about like, all right, what do I actually want to do? Where do I actually want to be? What do I want to be thinking about? Not this.
Dude, you ever just think about like, what if you had to just do school again? Like you'd be a kid, but you'd have your adult brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
I
mean
think about
like
it a lot?
Do you mean like turn into a kid or just go back to school as an adult?
Like you literally get sent back in time, and like time literally gets rewound, and you're a kid again, but you still have your adult brain. You still remember the future. So
it's erased.
The future's erased.
No, the anime.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't.
I mean, aside from like buying Bitcoin and Amazon stock.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like I hated school so much. Like, man, I was that kid. Like, I was the smart kid who never studied and never paid attention and got straight C's, baby. C's get D's. Degrees, baby.
So aggressive.
I told you I was fast today.
No, it's good. It's good. With the need for speed.
But anyway, I think about it and I'm like, God, I would actually probably like want to learn things. Like, it'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Teach me biology. Like, teach me algebra. I didn't realize I was good at math until like my senior year of college. When I aced business calculus.
Business maths. Dude, I think if I went back with like my current brain, I would just become like, I think I'd be way more horrible because like as a student, I was just kind of a quiet kid that also, didn't do too great in the grades department, but objectively was very smart. Like to put in perspective, in college, it's funny. I actually just told my parents about this a couple weeks ago about a thing I did in college, which was that I loved math. I still love math. I think math is awesome.
Math is neat.
Yeah. I just hate the education infrastructure. I hate class. I hate school. And yeah, I was in calculus in college. I hated going to that class. I went for the first week and decided, fuck this. I don't want to do this. And I didn't go for the entire semester. Like, I manifested the college dream everyone has.
You did the dream.
I did
in real life.
Yeah. And then I aced the final and brought my F up to a C and was like, all right, cool. Like I lived the nightmare. It's like, oh yeah, it's final day for this class I didn't go to all semester. And then I killed it. So actually me and Shady were talking about this recently in that the like American school and Spotify, please don't flag this as false information. We are not saying to like take horse tranquilizers or anything. We're just saying that from what I've heard, the American education public school system was initially made basically just as babysitting for people for American workers to go work in the mines from, you know, like 7 to 3 or whatever. And that's why school days are so unnecessarily long, because initially it was just like they just need somewhere to be. So let's just jam pack their heads with information that they honestly don't need, because they're spending so much time at an education place. So we'll educate them the whole time, which actually makes it counterproductive, which keeps the kids dumb to just go back to no education jobs. And it's to keep the little people in line. And I hate it. Ugh. But yeah, it should be like a 3-hour day. Like imagine now, today, with your current brain, if you were just like in a learning system, imagine right now at your current age, have I stressed enough?
So in this scenario, how old am I?
How old are you now?
34.
34. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So imagine now you were to learn for 3 hours a day, 4 days a week.
How much the shit out of some stuff.
You would learn the shit out of some stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just the high end amount where it's like, whew, that was a lot of learning today. And I'm going to stop. But you would retain a lot.
School is like 8 a.m. to what, 3 p.m.?
That sounds right. Mine was 7:40 to 2:40.
7 hours, dude.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, I guess there's lunch in there, so I mean, you could very generously say 6 hours, but
I think you can could keep the hours and just restructure it to where it would be more enjoyable, which would mean better learning. Like, dude, imagine like because it's 7 hours, basically 6 classes with lunch and breaks in between, right? Imagine it was 5 hours in a 7-hour day, and you have like, I don't know the exact math, but like 20 to 30 minute breaks between each class.
More breaks, yeah.
That would be great. That would be wonderful. That would have been so good. I would have done so much better at school.
Honestly, we got bigger problems.
I mean, yeah.
But I'm just kidding. I was just thinking about current events.
But the children are our future. They'll fix the current events.
I have a fun story. Mm-hmm. Maybe one more story, and then that's a podcast.
I like stories. By the way, I want to acknowledge that comments have acknowledged about, really quick, how much I harp on stop signifying the end of the episode, because it mentally prepares people to do something else. And like, there was something that's like, Dookie, we could probably stop there. Hey, stop saying that. Don't say it's over. Anyway.
So we are going to have like 20 more stories after this one.
Yeah.
So this is a lot like your didn't go to class all year and got out with a C story. I had to take statistics at community college, and statistics is fake. Okay, just hear me out. Statistics is not a real math. Okay, it's fake, because either something's gonna happen or it's not. All right, and then there's always an outcome, and it's like, well, it doesn't matter what the odds were because it happened or it didn't happen anyway. So anyway, fuck statistics. But I did really well in the class. For the first 3 quarters of it. So there was like 4 tests. It was like a 4-test course. Okay. And I did really well. And then right around the time of the last test, I don't know what happened. The material got really hard. And I think I just wasn't really studying it either. So I was kind of losing on 2 ends. But I studied and I tried, and I was like, all right, let's see how I do on this test. Oh, let me back up. For this class, I needed a textbook, like you do. And in college, you've got to buy your own textbooks, and they cost anywhere from, $80 to $350 from what I've seen. I used to work at a textbook store. So I had to get a book. It was really expensive. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get an earlier edition off of Amazon. So I did that. And I got through the year fine with that book. So fast forward to the end of the year. I study for this test. I don't feel prepared. I'm like, this is where my grade in this class is going to go from like an A to a C. But I show up ready to take the test. He passes out the tests. And everybody like gets to work. And then he starts calling people up to the front of the classroom. And some people sit back down at their desk, and some people are walking out the door and leaving. And this is the last day of class. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So he gets to me, and I go up there, and he's got his grade book open. And I realize what he's doing is he is sending everybody who already has an A home with an A in the class. They don't have to take the final. And I was not ready for this final. So I get up there, and he finds me in the grade book, and I see an 88. And I'm like, no. And he just pauses for a second, and he just goes, close enough. And he writes A next to it.
Yo.
And I was just like,
what an absolute Chad.
Dude, like I was about to get like a C or a D.
And you basically got bumped to an A.
Yeah. And then, so I'm already like coasting on a good high here.
Yeah, I got good chemicals from that.
Yeah. Oh, just get ready.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I want to leave school. This is the last day of school. It was my last class of the day too. So it was like, I'm getting out of here.
All of these terms are getting me hyped. Keep going.
I know, right? Yeah. Just wait.
Okay, I'm waiting.
So I'm like, maybe I could sell this book back to the bookstore because they do that. So I think I bought it for like $30. And I go to the bookstore, and this is an old edition. They buy it from me for like $80.
Oh my God.
Dude, yeah, I leave class with an A I didn't deserve and $80 in my pocket. I'm just like, I won today.
A bumped up grade and profit, dude.
Like, dude, that was one of those days where it's like, yep, today is a good day.
Yeah, it's like nothing can stop my dick.
I think I bought pizza.
Hell yeah. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm on top of the world. That's amazing. Oh, I miss leaving school early. That's the one thing I miss from school is leaving. But specifically the feeling of fuck this place I don't want to be, which I guess means my life's in a good place because it's been a while since I've been somewhere that I don't want to be. And to be like, I'm getting out of here early. Dude, that's a Poggerino day.
It is. Everything's different. The world looks different. Like especially as a kid, like you never see the world during business hours. You know? That's
true. That is so true. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, /watching, /both. Possibly.
Yeah.
Did you stare at the video
liking and
the whole time? Leave a comment about, I don't know. You're going to leave a comment about what you want.
Leave a comment about if you've ever been hacked or if you've ever gotten a good day in school.
Be sure to comment your password and last 4 digits of your social security. That's
do
a joke.
I have to be the one to say don't do what we say?
Yeah, go for it.
Do not do anything ever.
That was the Twitter legal disclaimer was don't do anything ever.
Yeah.
And then someone sues us for like starving to death.
Like I ate a bunch of ants and
Oh yeah. All right, bye y'all.
Bye.